We'll start with this invocation. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum
Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnanapradam Gur
Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodho Bhidhiyate
Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodho Bhidhiyate
Nityam Shuddham Nirabhasan Nirakaran Niranjanam
Nityan Shuddham Nirabhasan Nirakaran Niranjanam
Nityabodham Chidanandam Gurum Brahmanamamyaham
Nityabodham Chidanandam Gurum Brahma Namamyaham
Tattva Vivekaha Kaha
Tattva Vivekaha Kaha
Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarvam Mithyeti
Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarva Mithyeti
Atma Kaha
Atma Kaha
Thula Sukshma Karana Sharirat
Thula Sukshma Karan Sharirad
Vyatiriktaha
Vyatiriktaha
Panchakoshatitaha San
Panchakoshatitaha San
Avasthatraya Sakshi
Avasthatraya Sakshi
Satchidananda Swarupaha San
Satchidananda Swarupaha San
Yastisthati Sa Atma
Yastishtati Sa Atma
Thula Shariram Kim
Thula Shariram Kim
Panchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi
Panchikrit Panchamahabhutai Krit
Kritam
Kritam
Satkarmajanyam
Satkarmajanyam
Sukhadukhadi Bhogayatanam
Sukhadukhadi Bhogayatanam
Shariram
Shariram
Asti Jayate Vardhate
Asti Jayate Vardhate
Viparinamate Apakshiyate
Viparimate Apakshiyate
Vinashyatiti Shadvikaravade
Vinashyatiti Shanvikaravadeta
Thula Shariram
Pula Shariram
Sukshma Shariram Kim
Sukshma Shariram Kim
Apanchikrit Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam
Apanchikrit Panchamahabhutai Kritam
Satkarmajanyam
Tatkarmajanyam
Sukhadukhadi Bhoga Sadhanam
Sukhadukhadi Bhoga Sadhanam
Panchagyanendriyani Panchakarmendriyani
Panchagyanendriyani Panchakarmendriyani
Panchapranadayaha
Panchapranadayaha
Manaschaikam Buddhishchaika
Manaschaikam Buddhishchaika
Evam Saptadasha
Evam Saptadasha
Kalabhihi Saha
Kalabhihi Saha
Yattisthati Tat Sukshma Shariram
Yattisthati Tatsa Sukshma Shariram
Jnana Indriyani
Jnana Indriyani
श्रोत्रं त्वक्चक्षुः
श्रोत्रं त्वचक्षुः
रसनाघ्राणम् इति
रसनाघ्राणम् इति
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता
श्रोताश्र दिग्देवता
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता
श्रोत्रस्य श्रोतस्य दिग्देवता
त्वचो वायुः
त्वचो वायुः
चक्षुषः सूर्यः
चक्षुष सूर्यः
रसनाया वरुणः
रसनाय वरुणः
प्राणस्य अश्विनौ
घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः
श्रोतस्य विषयः
शब्दग्रहणम्
शब्दग्रहणम्
त्वचो विषयः
त्वचो विषयः
स्पर्शग्रहणम्
स्पर्शग्रहणम्
चक्षुषो विषयः
चक्षुषो विषयः
रूपग्रहणम्
रूपग्रहणम्
रसनाया विषयः
रसनाय विषयः
रसग्रहणम्
रसग्रहणम्
घ्राणस्य विषयः
घ्राणस्य विषयः
गन्धग्रहणम् इति
गन्धग्रहणम् इति
कर्म इन्द्रियाणि
कर्म इन्द्रियाणि
वाक्पाणिपादपायु
वाक्पाणिपादपायु
उपस्थानिति
उपस्थानिति
पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
वाचो देवता वह्निः
वाचो देवता वह्निः
हस्तयोरिन्द्रः
हस्तयोरिन्द्रः
पादयोर्विष्णुः
पादयो विष्णुः
पायोर्मृत्युः
पायोर्मृत्युः
उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः
उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः
इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः
इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः
वाचो विषयः भाषणम्
वाचो विषयं भाषणम्
पाणयोर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणम्
पाणयो विषय वस्तुग्रहणम्
पादयोर्विषयः गमनम्
पादयो विषय गमनम्
पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः
पायो विषय मलत्यागः
उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति
उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति
कारणशरीरं किम्
कारणशरीरं किम्
अनिर्वाच्य
निर्वाच्य
अनादि
अनादि
अविद्यारूपम्
अविद्यारूपं
शरीरद्वयस्य
शरीरद्वयस्य
कारणमात्रम्
कारणमात्रं
सत्स्वरूपाज्ञानम्
तत्स्वरूपाज्ञानं
निर्विकल्पकरूपम्
निर्विकल्पकरूपं
यदस्ति
यदस्ति
तत्कारणशरीरम्.
तत्कारणशरीरम्.
Very good, thank you. We will continue with yesterday, and basically what author is arriving at is true to his intention, which is to give us Tattva Viveka Jnana, knowledge of the Tattvam. Tattvam is essence. Knowledge of the essence of what we call as life. What I see, find myself with. What I call myself as. Essence, true essence of livingness, beingness, existence. What is the true nature of it? This is also the primary topic of Vedanta Adhyayana study. In the process of it, he has started by what is not Atma, to the specific methodology of negating what we can recognize through our experiences, sensory experiences, and saying this is not that tattva. So if you don't even understand Atma word, don't worry. Say tattva. What is not tattva? Finally, that tattva is Atma. But what is not tattva? What I experience in life, what I call is essentially my being, what I recognize as my life, my body, people, objects, birth, death, changes, success, failure, honor, dishonor, heat, cold, joy, sorrow, and all the vikar of the mind, from sadness to depression to elation to everything included in it, to fear, to anxiety. All of us are a byproduct of just all of this. We call all this as my nature, as me. We call all this as my essential being. मैं ही हूँ ये सब. So, he started by the process of negating what I think I am essentially and classifying it in an objective way so that I can place it outside as in not outside, but in my understanding I can place it as an object, and so I can see that I stand separate from it. So in that methodology, he started by saying, what is Sthula Shariram, gross body, physical body, what is physical bodies, and Atma, this is not. Then he told us Sukshma Shariram and everything to do with Sukshma Shariram. We finished yesterday, and he says all 17 components, call them 19, and in different schools sometimes they go up to 24, 27, 29. Doesn't matter. We have to fix up some figure which is convenient for us to recognize. Ultimately, it is going to be, this is not Atma. So what is helping us to cognize, where am I seeing myself as a person, and therefore being limited in my understanding of myself as a person? Shastra is helping me recognize it, place it objectively, and then say this is not Atma. Therefore, this is Anatma. And the logic it gave was centered around what we understood as mithya. That it is not that it is not there. It is there. Your physical body is there. Your Sukshma Shariram is there. You are experiencing varieties of life incidents. We are all experiencing birth and so-called etc., what all I stated just now. All that seems to be a part of my experience of life. Therefore, I'm constantly in a state of conclusion, good life, bad life. I could have done better. I did not do as much as I wanted, or I did more than what I thought I could do. There is a constant assessment or a judgment going on with reference to me, my capacity, my wanting to do, to be, my likes, dislikes, it's all centered around me. This is Sukshma Shariram, where my sense of identity is placed between the 17 components, which is Panchendriya, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Prana, Manaha, Buddhi. So far, all this is Sukshma Shariram, which means Sukshma Shariram is Mithya, is Anatma, not Atma. Then he said the third thing in the definition of what is Atma, to explain that, he said Karana Shariram is also not Atma. So naturally the next question is, what is Karana Shariram? That means around Atma, if you were to draw a concentric circle, you have a circle, say, smallest point, this is Atma. Then you are drawing another circle around it, and you say, this is my, actually it should be Karana Shariram, smallest, and then more visible, but still invisible, is Sukshma Shariram, and then the outermost layer, most visible and most contactable, Sthula Shariram. These are my three bodies of what? Atma. But they are all not Atma. Atma is distinct from these three layers. Layers is not in the literal sense that they are enveloping them, but these are the three different and differentiable aspects where I have my identity limited. When I say I am fair looking, when I say I am 5 feet something, when I say I am this weight, when I say my one hand is missing, when I say that one eye is, my eyes are weak, when I say that I am not able to hear clearly, when I am saying all these things, I am actually concluding that Atma is this body. I means Atma. Remember the first meaning. I is Atma. So I am concluding that I, Atma, am this feet, I am this color, I am these equipments, and amongst these equipments, my this is not functioning, that is not happening, etc., etc., etc. I'm going on trying to understand myself in terms of my gross body, my physical body. So I have mixed up my identity with the features of my physical body. That is not Atma. Then I have mixed up my features with my thoughts, emotions, feelings, aspirations, ambitions, fears, etc. All that also I am not. Understood. This much is quite fair to all of us. But the point is, where has the Sthula and the Sukshma Sharira come from? I am not all of this, then how do I find myself saying such things? How do I believe myself to be born and I will die, and that I am so and so feet and I am so and so color and I am so happy or I am so sad? How do I find myself with such thoughts or such notions about myself? Where did they come from? Shastra says, Karana Sharira is the reason. Karana by itself means cause. It is the causal body. So if you put it in English, there is your physical body, also called gross body. There is your mental state, mental body, also called subtle body. And then there is the causal body. It is the cause of what? Now, here he gives the definition. And in this definition, there are some very points. You will need some patience to also digest, and anugraha for me also, if we can speak articulately on it. Karana Shariram he starts by saying, from where we are continuing, Sharira dvayasya karana matram. These words first. So what is Karana Shariram? He says Sharira Dvaya. Now what is a Sharira Dvaya? That you know by now. What is Sharira Dvaya?
Gross and subtle.
Gross and subtle. So Sharira Dvaya, Karana Matram. It is merely a cause for these two. These two, if he says Karana Sharir is the cause of these two, what is the first implication you get out of it? That they are effects. The technical term for it is Karyam. Karyam, Sthula and Sukshma Sharir are effects now because there is a cause for them. They have come from somewhere. Having come from somewhere, it just implies, commonsensically speaking, that they are not independent. They are not the origin. They are not the ones that came first. It is not that my subtle body found expression and then from subtle body gross, because that we have already established. That gross body is dependent on the subtle body. So does subtle body become the primary feature of me? From where all of me comes? Shastra says no. Subtle body also comes from something. And from where it comes, it is called Karan. And there's a very peculiar thing about this Karan. As I said, gross body to dikhta hai, outermost layer. Subtle body dikhta nahi hai, lekin pata to dikhta, matlab in the sense mentally pata hai ki I am there, I have these thoughts. But I can't physically see them. So they have become subtle. Karan is even more subtle. Means, if my Karana Sharira, if my Sukshma Sharira had Manas and Buddhi, and they are effects, then Karana Sharir is even more subtle. Because it is more subtle, all my knowledge seems to be around my Buddhi and Manas. Gyan Indriyo se पाई हुई. सारा ज्ञान मेरा जो ज्ञान इंद्रिय से आया वो सिर्फ सूक्ष्म शरीर तक रहा. How will the सूक्ष्म शरीर know its own cause? For example, good, you got it. So for example, famous example in Vedanta, when you see a tree, a full-blown tree. Yesterday we went to Gulmarg and we were in an orchard and we ate apples. So there were apple trees around us. Now when we ate the apple, what happened to it? The apple tree, and I'm not a Newton, I didn't wonder whether it fell on my head or not. I was just enjoying the apple. And when I was enjoying the apple, I didn't ask the question, where has the apple come from? Whatever the remnant was left in the apple, not in my stomach, in the apple, the seed part of it, which I did not consume, I could have consumed, but I did not consume, and I just threw it. When I threw the seed on a fertile ground, season, what happened? That seed became a sapling, and that sapling became a tree bearing more fruits. So the whole potential of the tree is inherent where? In the seed. Entire potential of a manifest tree. When I was eating that apple, I should have finished it. the cycle's over. Khatam ho gaya. Sep khatam ho gaya. Now once all the apples are gone from the tree, there should be no more apple trees. We have consumed all the apples, there should be no more apple trees. But we don't find that. What do we find? We find that in every apple tree, in every apple of the tree, in every apple of the tree has within it its own potential state to become another tree, one more tree, with the same apple bearingness. It'll again bear apples only. It won't happen by mistake, by fluke, by coincidence, by chance, by Bhagwan's anugraha, by miracle. Maybe I sowed an apple seed and I got an orange tree because I wanted oranges now. I have had apples, I want oranges, and it did not happen that I ate the apple, threw the seed, and there from that seed came the orange tree. Did it happen? No. Not by chance, not by miracle ever. And however much God wills it, it won't happen. That means what? The cause was capable of producing, manifesting in entirety its potential, which is its effect. And put it the other way, that manifest effect now in its full-blown form. In the seed, did you see the whole tree in the seed at that time? When you see the apple seed, do I see that this is a whole tree in that seed? I don't see the differentiation of the tree in the seed. I know by observation that if this is an apple seed, I can wait in time. It will only give me apple fruit. It'll become an apple tree. Karana Sharira means that body in which your Sthula and Sukshma, I'll put it other way, Sukshma and Sthula Sharir is in its potential state. It's not manifest, but it is there latent. Whom nahi hua ped. It is latent in that state. Body and your gross body, where it is latent in its potential state, that is called Karana Sharir. Means, the body by itself connected to gross body, subtle body is also where it is in its unmanifest state, from where it comes to manifestation, that cause without which you would not have the effect. There will be no karyam without the karanam. Seem to be having a relation. That where it is resting as if in its potential state, Sharira Dvaya ka Karan, which means Sharira Dvaya jo fully manifested ab hai, when it is in its resting state, in its potential state, from where only this characteristic of subtle body and gross body will emerge and nothing else will emerge. My peculiarity of me being me is making me peculiar, obviously, as much as it's making each one of us peculiar, and our peculiarities that we have, with which we call ourselves, are all in their unmanifest state called Karana Sharira. It is just unmanifest potential state. Now what that Karana, what does it mean? What is this cause? How do I understand the cause? Shastra doesn't leave it at any point with a no answer. It says this cause is Vidya Rupam. Just the preceding word. This is Anadi and Avidya. If you break up the words, this is Sandhi happened. So this word is Anirvachya, Anadi, Avidya, Rupam. So what is the Karana? Karana Matram of Sharira Dvaya is Karana Sharir. But how do I understand this further? He says, understand it as Avidya Rupam. It is in the form of Avidya. Avidya is something you will hear constantly in Vedanta. Karana Shariram brings us the closest to where the Vedanta Adhyanam starts. All that was preparation, and then we started coming to the core. Now we are in the core of Vedanta. This is where Vedanta's crux is. Karana Shariram is also called Avidya. Understand it as Avidya, because Karana Sharir, as I said, हमारा बुद्धि कारण शरीर को नहीं समझ सकता क्योंकि वो subtle है. If buddhi is an effect of Karan, then effects can't understand the cause. The tree can't understand the seed. The seed has latent tree. In the same way, my Sukshma Sharir can't understand my Karana Sharir. So how is Karana Sharir to be grasped or understood, at least intellectually, because I cannot perceive it? It is in the form of avidya. Vidya, knowledge. Avidya, no knowledge. Lack of knowledge, absence of knowledge. I'm not calling it ignorance here. There is an absence of knowledge. Lack of knowledge is avidya. Of what? इस चीज का ऐसा ज्ञान नहीं है मेरे पास जिसके अभाव से I have a Karana Sharir from where my Sukshma Sharir and Sthula Sharir have emerged. ये कौन सा ज्ञान है जो नहीं है मेरे पास? He says here, Sat Swarupa Ajnanam. So this avidya is ajnan of Sat Swarup. Is ajnan of Swarup, Swarup. Swarup is two words. Swa, once, Rup. Swarup is my own form, my own essential form. Sat is the essential. What is existent ever. Remember, Sat, Chit, Anand, pure existence. My ajnanam of avidya is what? Ajnanam, ज्ञान नहीं है. किसका ज्ञान नहीं है? सत स्वरूप का ज्ञान नहीं है. मेरा स्वरूप सत है, ये ज्ञान नहीं है. I'll repeat this. Sharira Dvaya का कारण is called Karana Sharir. This Karana Sharir, how do I grasp, understand, recognize? This Karana Sharir is avidya, Rupa. Understand it closer as saying it is avidya. Of what? Avidya means it is ajnanam. You don't have knowledge, lack of knowledge, absence of knowledge. Ajnan hai. no knowledge. ज्ञान का अभाव है. That's a correct word. ज्ञान का अभाव है of my swarup being Sat, of my essential being, myself being pure existence, Sat, ever present, Nityam, as we have done these words before. It is eternal. ये ज्ञान का अभाव है. I'll ask again. Are you eternal? Can you say, if I say, who are you? What are you going to tell me? If somebody wants to volunteer, who are you? Forget all Vedanta. Whatever you've heard. Just let's have a conversation. You and I have met for the first time. Anybody wants to volunteer to say, I'll ask a question. Who are you?
I'm Rimshim.
Sorry?
We'll tell a name. So we'll start by telling a name.
So give me your name.
My name is Rimshim.
Oh, acha. Hi, Rimshim. I'm Deepthi. Hi. So from where are you?
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay. Oh, that's where you stay, is it?
Yes.
Okay. In Hyderabad, what do you do? Etc. You don't have to exactly tell me. This is all public, so if you can skip all the personal details, you can make up stories if you want. Don't worry. Caution. So,
Yeah.
oh, what do you do? Okay. And
I'm an HR professional.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what more are you about? That's your profession. What more can you say you are?
I'm also a homemaker. I'm a
You're
mother.
also-
I have a kid. Yes.
So you have a kid, you are a homemaker. What more can you say about yourself?
I like listening to Vedanta classes.
Okay, I like listening to Vedanta classes. What more about you is there that you think you are? Didn't, right?
Yeah.
Almost didn't. I just feel I've given my biography. A little more can be added, and all, and all of us will have this. Only difference will be, I'm here, I'm there, okay, I'm a female, I'm a male, I have this age, I have, etc., etc., etc. All of this information that I'm calling about knowledge of myself, is this your essential nature?
No.
A question that one sits and reflects around. I have a joke. If you have a garden, if you don't, doesn't matter. If you have a rocking chair, wonderful. Sit on a rocking chair with a cup of chai, garam garam if you like, or coffee, whatever. Or if you have a garden, sit in your garden with and just ask yourself, ye sab kuch. And every day you will have a little more information that you think you are. Okay, okay, I am this. Okay, I am a mother of this and this. Okay, I am of this religion. Okay, I am of this country. Okay, whatever you are talking of yourself as, is this your real nature? Is this your essential nature? Can you really say you know all of yourself?
No.
That is defining your essential nature. Can I really say I know everything about myself? Because I do surprise myself so many times. I remember once I know of a person who claimed was never, ever, ever got angry in life. Had never got angry. For many years, I knew the person who never got angry. And then one day, something happened. And the person was so instantly angry. It was a very personal thing to the person. And the person was so angry suddenly. And it came as a surprise to everyone, shock rather, even to the person, because the person was convinced that the person had never had anger. And out of a blue, after many years of living on the planet, out of the blue, you get anger. You experience anger. Could you have concluded now that you always knew yourself? That anger was latent. Where? Means everything that I call about myself as myself is actually not complete knowledge about myself. माय स्वरूप का ज्ञान नहीं है अभी भी ये. There may be bits and pieces that I think I am, but now by स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीर वेदांता ने तो वैसे भी कह दिया कि ये तो तुम हो ही नहीं. That means where is all this settling down? Into ajnanam of my swarupam. Because I don't have because I don't have gyan of my basic nature. I would call it basic nature. हम लोग सोचते हैं what is your basic? I'm friendly, I'm kind, I'm nice person. Very nice person. You don't know. Be blessed if you have my sangha because I'm such a nice person. Agreed. All of us think that about ourselves. हमसे अच्छा कोई है ही नहीं इस दुनिया में. यही तो बड़ी आयरनी की बात है कि हम सबको हमसे अच्छा कोई दिखता ही नहीं है और दुनिया में फिर भी हमें सब कितने कैसे कैसे दिखते हैं और हर किसी को खुद ही सब. तो फिर तो दुनिया में कुछ और होना ही नहीं चाहिए था, बस अच्छा ही होनी चाहिए थी, बिकॉज हर कोई अच्छा ही तो है. That means there's so much about us that seems to be misperceived by us. हमी को हमारा ही अंडरस्टैंडिंग लगता है कुछ गड़बड़ है. It's not complete. There is a misperception about my knowledge of myself. And that misperception can only happen if I really do not have real knowledge about myself. No knowledge of myself brings the possibility of a wrong knowledge about myself. Because when there is right knowledge, that is not correctable afterwards. A right knowledge remains right. That's the criteria for a right knowledge. But if a knowledge can be corrected at another point, then that knowledge was only relative right. It was not correct wala right. It was relative. It was right up to a point. And then it got falsified or it got corrected by another correct knowledge. More correct knowledge. Now what have we come to so far? Karana Sharir is the cause of my Sukshma and my Sthula Sharir. And Sthula and Sukshma Sharir do not have an independent existence. Where they remain latent, my entire expression of my personality that I call myself as kind and nice and this age and that and mother and this and that, everything of it is actually embedded. I like the word now, embedded. You know, when you're posting your videos and then they ask you this, do you want to embed a video? I found that word very interesting. You want to embed means kahin aur se laake idhar dal do karke. You're throwing you're now embedding something, you know, which means my entire personality is embedded. Where it gets embedded is Karana, cause. Then what is further? This cause, to know it seems to be that it is simply arising from, it is existent because of ajnanam of my Satswarup. Cause अपने आप में क्या है? Which is giving whole birth to me. My sense of limitation, individual, मेरा जन्म हो गया है पूरा. और एक बार जन्म हुआ है, तो remember the स्थूल शरीर का definition, षड विकार भी होगा. Remember the सूक्ष्म शरीर, it will have all of this. I have come to some sort of a physical form. I have a physical expression, a physical existence. From where this Karana Sharir is Sat Swarupa Ajnanam. Oh, okay, is this much clearer? Fair enough. When did it start? When did I mistake all this? मतलब कब हुआ कि मुझे मेरा ज्ञान नहीं हुआ इसलिए I have a birth and therefore when did it happen? हुआ कैसे? टेल मी दैट. फॉरगेट एवरीथिंग. ओके, हो गया यहां तक, आई हैव अंडरस्टूड, बट हुआ कैसे? ये कैसे हो गया ये अज्ञान मेरे को? कहां शुरू हुआ ये सब? हाउ डिड द हाउ डिड इट materialize that today I am a full expression of knowledge of myself, and Vedanta is telling me all this knowledge is anatma. My entire existence is anatma as it's calling me, and my true existence, he says, Vedanta says, I am ignorant of. मुझे पता ही नहीं है मेरा true existence क्या है, and जब तक मुझे पता नहीं है, I have no respite. This is what I am going to be, with some shades here and there. When did I fall into this, or when did I become this, or when did I have these knowledge of this as myself as a limited way, identified with my body and my thoughts, and ये कब हुआ? Anadi. The answer is Anadi. You cannot say when it began. It is beginningless. You cannot say the chicken come first or the egg come first. Did my Sukshma Shariram or my Sthula Shariram and my Karana Shariram come first? Ajnanam come first? How did this happen? When did it happen? That when aspect of it, कब शुरू हुआ ये? सृष्टि कब शुरू हुई? मेरा जन्म कब शुरू हुआ? इस जन्म में तो I can say, okay, this is my birth date, the birth year, birth time also. But you are saying this is the birth of the gross body. You will ask Vedanta. Vedanta will say this is the birth of your gross body. सूक्ष्म शरीर तो इससे अलग था, उसका तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ, वो तो हमेशा है. अरे, तो दैट मीन्स सूक्ष्म शरीर का जन्म कब हुआ? वो तो कारण शरीर में है. तो कारण शरीर कब हुआ? अनादि. उसका तो शुरुआत ही नहीं हुआ, वो तो है. हाउ इज दैट पॉसिबल कि वो शुरुआत नहीं हुआ? Because the minute you ask when did it start, you are talking in terms of time. And minute you ask in terms of time, you are employing your faculties again. And what is bound in time implies that it was not there before. कुछ अगर शुरू हुआ है, हमारी क्लास 11 बजे शुरू हुई है, तो उसके पहले नहीं थी. हमारी क्लास पिछले साल शुरू हुई है, तो उसके पहले नहीं थी. शुरू means it has now started, before which it never was. If it never was before, then there will be a flaw, because whatever has started, if before that it was not there, then it must have been in its existence state, or whichever state which I am ignorant of now. Then there is, how did this happen? So Anadi means start the inquiry, thinking process by not questioning when it started, but by accepting that you are already an effect in it. It doesn't matter when it started. Can it end? Is it Anant also? Whenever it began, since when am I in rebirth after birth, Janma after Janma, Bhaj Govindam, the famous one, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Shayanam. I will born again, I die again, then again I lie in my mother's womb, then again I am born. Punnaha api jananam, punnaha api maranam, punnaha api janani jathare shayanam. I lie again as a fetus in my mother's womb. All this cycle कब शुरू हुआ? Anadi. It's a beginningless cycle. There are more reasons to it, maybe next time. First, there's so much to digest, so I'm trying to keep that much that you can digest at the first go. It's beginningless. But is it Anant? No. Why Vedanta comes into importance and choicelessly important. Because now start reversing the cycle from here first. If avidya means Swarup, Sat Swarup ka Gyan, which has brought about the Sharira Dvaya, Karana of the Sharira Dvaya, how will I, and it is Anadi, and if I'm interested in ending it, how should you do it?
Gyan Swarup.
Oh, Gyan of
Swarup.
Swarup. What did Tattva Bodha start from? What did the author say? My intention is, Vivaksha is, I will give you Gyan of Swarup. What will happen with the Gyan of Swarup? Your Agyanam gets destroyed. अज्ञानम है क्या? बस ज्ञान का ना होना. तो जब ज्ञान का हो गया, तो what happened? The Karana Sharir gone. There's no Karana Sharir because what is Karana Sharir? Avidya, Rupam. तो अगर कारण शरीर नहीं है, तो स्थूल और सूक्ष्म शरीर कैसे है? नहीं है. It doesn't mean, please don't be, okay, I will disappear the minute I have jnana. मतलब I will disappear in thin air the minute I have Atma Jnanam. No. There's a lot more information. Nobody will disappear anywhere till your prarabdha is over. With knowledge also, one will continue to live as one lives, but one is freed of the mental bondages, which is a different topic. We are still continuing with Karan Sharira. So, Sat Swarupa Ajnanam, it is Anadi. If it is Anadi, how else is this Anadi Avidya seen as? You say it's Anadi. शुरू हमें पता ही नहीं कैसे हुई है. Then how do I know there is avidya? Or what more can be the description of avidya, because it is so subtle that you anyway can't describe it in words. He says that you can't describe it in words is anirvachya. It is vachya, means something that can be described. Vachya means definitely described, determined. It can be determined. Anirvachya means it cannot be determined. Avidya is anirvachya. It cannot be determined as a substance. Not place it to say ye hai, material hai, ye avidya hai. There is no tangibility of holding it. It is anirvachya. It is inexplicable. Can't be described. Then what am I living? This is where you bring in your Sat, Tuchyam and Mithya ka Jnanam. Understand Anirvachyam. I'll just take 2 more minutes and then we'll continue next time. To understand Anirvachyam, are you there or not? Yes. What are you there as? Rimjim said, I'm Rimjim, I'm from here and here, and I'm this and this, and I'm a huge, she has a CV that she hands over, or she handed when she got her job. There's a CV there. I'm so and so and so and so also. Yeah. All of this is my recognition of myself. शास्त्र ने तो एक दृष्टि में कह दिया था ये तो मिथ्या है, बिकॉज विदाउट द सत बीइंग देयर दिस नॉलेज ऑफ योरसेल्फ इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सत का ज्ञान मुझे है नहीं. जिसका ज्ञान है वो सत नहीं है, बट अनुभव में है, एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है. कैटेगरी इन विच it has a dependent existence is anarvachya. Mithya is anarvachya. Just one example, okay. Remember the rope and the snake? You are experiencing a snake. You are seeing a snake. You are experiencing a snake. How do you explain the experience of snake as real when there is no real snake there? But yet the experience seems real. But there is no real snake there. That you have to put it in both the categories. है भी और नहीं भी है. Something that goes in both the categories. It is there, but it is not there. That is anirvachya. It is a completely categoryless experience. It cannot be categorized. It is there till when I see the snake, continue to get the experience of snake, till when you should get the answer. What is the Sat Swarup of snake? Rope. Correct. The Sat Swarup of snake is rope. The minute there is knowledge of rope,
Thank you, sir.
as long as I continued seeing snake, since when did I see snake? The minute I saw snake only. कभी हुआ नहीं कि अब शुरू हुआ. I've opened my eyes and I have called myself the limited person. ये नहीं शुरू हुआ कि I was born and then after my first cry and then I was looking around and then I saw I didn't know they are my parents. I saw the nurse and I thought that nurse is my mother because she is the first person I see. Before I see my mother, I see the nurse. So then I afterwards I said, okay, now I have seen my mother and therefore now this is my mother, and therefore the avidya started. Did it happen like that? Minute you've woken up ever in your senses, you have always called yourself this limited person. जब से हमको कहते ना बच्चे होते हैं तो हमारे माँ बाप हमको कहते जब से तुमने होश संभाला है, अब जब भी होश संभाला हमने, जब से होश संभाला है हमने अपने आप को यही समझा है कि हम ये हैं वो नहीं है ये blah blah blah. But can you say that the snake was tuch? Can I say that I'm not there? I can't say that. But am I really this? No, because when I have Gyan of Sat Swarup, my entire Karana Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Sthula Shariram have no significance. Snake is no longer there. I didn't have to destroy it. I didn't have to do anything. All I needed was knowledge of rope. What is there? What is there was enough an inquiry to end Anadi Avidya, which has kept me in a cyclical state of limited experiences. We'll end at this. The Nirvikalpaka Yat asti tat karana shariram. And the whole thing maybe we'll do again, because all the nirvikalpaka means really that the whole tree is in its undifferentiated state in the seed form. Vikalpa means differentiation. Avikalpa means with differentiation. Uske saath. Nirvikalpa means uske differentiation ke bina. So in the Karana Sharir, the whole tree is not seen in a differentiated state. It is only recognized in a potential state. So all this differentiated being that I am today, in my Karana Sharir, it is in a nirvikalpaka sthiti, without differentiation. In my seed form, I cannot say I'm a woman or a man. In my seed form, I cannot say I am this color or not. In my seed form, I cannot say I have so many sisters or brothers and this and that and mother and I in my seed form, I can't see all this differentiation. But they are latent. And that latency, when it manifests as all this. And then what happens? Beautiful. Because till you have knowledge, this Upadeshasar explained it so well. All that will happen, and this author will also do it. All that will happen is this whole latent thing goes back into its seed form every day when we sleep. When you sleep, you are in your Karana Avastha as if, but not in the literal sense, because Karana Avastha is not a substance. It is your potential state of your ignorance. And ignorance is not a substance. It is just not knowing. When I see an object lying in a semi-dark place, coiled up, it's semi-lit, coiled up, the potential of me not recognizing it as rope is always inherent in that rope. Fear of the rope. The potential was always there. I may have seen it as rope from the beginning. If I see it as rope from the beginning, do I ever see a snake there? Such a person is called a Jnani, who sees a rope as a rope. इसलिए उसको स्नेक नहीं दिखता है, तो उसको दोनों दिखते हैं. उसको वो भी दिखता है जिसको स्नेक दिखता है, और वो घबराता है और उसको पता नहीं क्या क्या होता है. उसको पता चल रहा है कि उसको स्नेक हो दिख रहा है, इसलिए ये सब हो रहा है. That is why such people were called Apta Purushas, those who have the vision correctly of life, and they are the ones who come into parampara to जिनको स्नेक दिख रहा है, उनको ज्ञान ही उस स्नेक की निवृत्ति कर सकता है. जिसको मन में संसार है, जिसके जो प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ लाइफ है, all problems of life have emerged from ajnana. This statement, the day anyone understands, it's a partial liberation already. That means there is absolute no respite. The problems will always remain in Srishti. No respite other than Atma Jnanam for the problems to end. So-called problems, if they are. But fact is, I see a snake, so I get fear. I see a world out there. I see I'm different from it. I see that I'm not complete. I see that I need something. I'm deficient, etc., 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 and therefore the chase continues, etc. It's an endless cycle. But endless in the sense, it's a beginningless cycle. But it has an end in only knowledge. Till then, it is endless. In perpetuity. Therefore, the very, 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 I'm taking a little detour. Therefore, it's so very essential to have Atmagyanam. And to get Atmagyanam, it is only this combination of Sthula and Sukshma, and this combination alone can grasp the knowledge. Only in the human Upadhi. Upadhi is the Sharira. Another word for Shariram is also Upadhi. The meaning we'll give sometimes, but just register the word now. There's 3 Shariras: Sukshma Sharir, Karana Sharir, Sthula Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, Karana Sharir. Sharir word is also called Upadhi of Atma. These are Upadhis. Sharir is an Upadhi of Atma. So we'll continue in the next class the same thing, because I forgot. Next time we'll do it. So Rimjam, can you follow me? Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu.
Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Sarve Santu Niramayah.
Sarve Santu Niramayah.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave.
Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave.
Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam.
Swasti Prajabhyam Paripalayantam.
Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha.
Nyayena Margena Mahisha.
Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam.
Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam.
Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
Kale Varshatu Parjanyah.
Kale Varshatu Parjanyah.
Prithvi Sasya Shalini.
Prithvi Sasya Shalini.
Deshoyam Shobharahitah.
Deshoyam Shobharahitah.
Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha.
Brahmanam Santu Nirbhayaha.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om everyone.